Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are when you are viewing this. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds after starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the live stream here on Crowdcast. And if you're viewing this on replay, wherever you're viewing it, thank you for watching. Okay, straight here. Today's topic, as it reads in the thumbnail, pity parties, keto versus pity parties. It really should have read keto and pity parties because while keto was very powerful, it is it cannot necessarily obliterate pity parties from our lives. So let's talk about that in a second. First of all, a little housekeeping. If you are new here, or even if you're returning, if you would like to make a comment and have it kind of pinned, there's a speech bubble with a question mark in it. If you type a comment, question, observation, whatever, that'll be pinned, and it's a pretty neat feature on when I go to answer it. And also, there is no agenda. So feel free to comment or question as you like. Keep it clean, y'all. Okay, so the ketogenic protocol, as I learned it and as I have practiced it for now well over 11 years, is keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day, total carbs, not net carbs. Net carbs means more carbs. If it's not on page 4, which you can see at my blog or underneath my YouTube replay of this, a link to it, if it's not on page 4, don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Ugh, so hard. Stop eating when you've had enough. Also challenging. And then I've added be patient and persevere. That is it. And it has lots of nice things that happen. You start burning fat for fuel instead of burning glucose, which is sugar for fuel. Your appetite is suppressed. Inflammation can be resolved. Blood sugar can come down. By the way, if you are taking insulin for type 2 diabetes, don't start this protocol without medical supervision. It can actually bring your blood sugar down, and then it makes the insulin too powerful. And hypoglycemia is dangerous as well as hyperglycemia. So, that said, it can do lots of things. But I tell you what, we humans are an odd group. We're an odd species. And we tend to have what are colloquially known as pity parties, where we feel sorry for ourselves and why does everyone else have it easier and I have it so hard? I mean, come on. I've done that. I have felt that way. Have you felt that way? I'll be asking for comments and questions and observations from all of you about this. Raise your hand if you've ever had a pity party. So, here's the thing. We can have pity parties about a lot of things, not just food. Why is it that some people seem to find good romantic partners and I find the duds? Why? Why me? The whole why me, or the flip side of that, why not me? Why can't I be the person who doesn't have to study in school and can still make good grades? So it's two sides of the same coin. The fact of the matter is, all of us have something. And all of us have gifts that other people wish they had. And I'm going to ask for, okay, good morning, happy to be here. Good morning, good morning. I'm getting a lot of things popping up to this. I want to make sure everyone can see and hear me because I'm getting a lot of little things coming in. Okay, no, it doesn't look like that. Okay, so let me know if you can see and hear me. Hey, Judy. So, but food seems to, thank you, Kimberly. Food seems to be something about which we are particularly envious of some other people. You know, we may not envy someone their romantic partner, we say, what a jerk that person is. Or their responsibilities at work, we may not envy that. Oh, I wouldn't do that on a bit. Or lots of other things. But if they're a person, even with all the challenges in their lives, who can eat what they want and remain thin and healthy, ugh, we can be so envious. Food and size and weight is just, it seems like it's hard baked into our psyches. Why is it that why do I have to watch what I'm eating? And I do watch what I eat. I mean, I don't mess around with carbs. And over the last few years, because I've been doing this a really long time, as I've grown older and my body composition has changed and my stage of life has changed, and surely my hormones have changed, I require less fuel. So I'm actually sometimes having a pity party about my own self. Why is it 5 years ago I could eat bump up this whole plate full of food and be fine? And now I need like a third of that. Well, you know why? Because sometimes the answer is because, you know, some of us may have been the heaviest person in our family, and those around us, not so heavy, no matter what they did. Why? Because no, who does knowing the answer help? Yeah, I'm the runt of my family. I'm the shortest person in my family. I'm shorter than my mother was, and my mother was short. Oh well, you know, why do most of my siblings have long legs and height? And I don't. Because why is my metabolism such that no, a few extra carbs, one slice of bread's going to make me feel gross? It's not like I think bread is evil. It just doesn't work for me. It works for some other people. It does not work for me. It didn't for all those years I was doing something else. But when we get right down to it, pity parties they're not fun. It's not like you wear a party hat to a pity party. You don't celebrate it. And it doesn't do any good. If we know what works for us and what doesn't work for us, and then we decide to do the thing that doesn't work for us and not do the thing that does work for us because we're feeling sorry for ourselves, because the person 3 seats over doesn't have to do what we have to do in order to be healthy, feel better physically, be able to fit into our clothes, have our brain back. If we make poor decisions because someone else can get away with poor decisions, okay, let's just take it for what it is. There are people that, can happily have uh, 2 glasses of Chardonnay and be done with it and be moving on. For other people, the first half of a glass of Chardonnay or the first shot of tequila, not good. And those of us who are sensitive to alcohol need to learn how to manage it. Regretting or being envious of other people who don't have to do that doesn't do us any good. It doesn't do us good because we might, end up walking on our knees, knee walking drunk that day if we don't pay attention to ourselves. Keto won't fix a pity party. That's not food related, right? The food on this is easy. People want to know, what should I eat? When should I eat? How much should I eat? What time should I eat? What's the food list? You don't even need a food list. Food is easy. Fatty sources of protein, non-starchy vegetables, full fat dairy. Those last bits in limited amounts. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer. Don't eat if you're not hungry. That's simple. What is not easy, because simple and easy are two different things, is letting stuff go. Letting go of the fact that, yeah, okay, if I eat the food everyone else does, which I did, I'll be back to being obese, morbidly obese. For those of you who don't know, you can go to my blog Look at my during photos, and not even during weight loss, just not my absolute heaviest. They're called the before photos. Perfectly round. And I tried to move more, eat less. I was obese and morbidly obese for 30 years, from my mid-20s to my mid-50s. So eating the food that everyone else ate, or that it was recommended that I eat, as long as it was low fat, did not work for me. There are people around me who don't, you know, male, female, younger, older, that they just are fine. I'm not. There are I have come from a large family, and the two oldest were twin brothers, identical twin brothers. And one of the twins had an eidetic memory. He read it, he remembered it. He heard it, he remembered it. He would actually take tests for his twin until they were busted by the nuns. It was Catholic school. But did the other twin say, why did my twin get to be? No, it's just, it is what it is, right? There are all kinds of things that we can wish that our circumstance was like someone else's. But then again, there are people that wish they had our circumstance. I'm the luckiest person you will ever meet. I have the best life of anyone I know. I just can't eat carbs. Okay? Is that a fair trade-off? Absolutely. Now, did I feel sorry for myself for about 30 years? Yes. Yes. I would cry myself to sleep sometimes at night. Here's when it gets really pathological. I would say, if I could only get cancer, maybe I would lose weight. Well, then I got cancer. I didn't lose weight. And then cancer twice more. Still didn't lose weight. So, I mean, this is how awful it is than you think. Pity party. I'd rather have cancer than be fat. What? So let's try to recognize when we are feeling sorry for ourselves, when we are in a state of mind that will not help us, that will only bring us down further. Feelings like resentment and, well, the 7 deadly, is it the 7 deadly sins? You can probably count them. Is Scott here? Scott could totally list off the 7 deadly sins. Greed, envy, gluttony. Let's try to avoid those. Let's practice acceptance. This is who I am. I'm okay. I just need to make decisions that work for me and avoid those decisions that don't serve me well. And then embrace those qualities that I have that maybe someone else wishes they had. Right? We all have something that's like, wow. It could be something as simple as, wow, you have such a beautiful head of hair, to, my gosh, you are so good at your job, to, your garden should be in a magazine, to all sorts of things. So we all have something that other people may strive to be like. And there are people that we might want to strive to be. Keto won't fix a pity party for self-pity or holding on to stuff that is in the past. We just have to make the best decisions we can make right now. And then the next time we make a decision, make the best decision we can make. I get asked, how do I start keto? The next time you put food in your mouth, lay off the carbs. That's it. And the next time you put food in your mouth after that, lay off the carbs. Now, you can have vegetables in limited amounts, non-starchy vegetables, and that's mostly where the carbs are going to come from. It's limited amounts. Non-starchy vegetables, about a cup a day max before cooked, and about 2 cups a day max of leafy greens before cooked. So that's not much, but you can have those. That's going to get you about 10 or 12 grams of carbohydrate. Full fat dairy, limited amounts, not because of the carbs so much, but because of the calories. And it's easy to overeat both cheese and to overserve yourself heavy cream. But beyond that, eat fatty sources of protein. Eat slowly. I'm adding this, eat slowly. It really helps. Stop eating when you've had enough. And then the next time you eat, you know, lather, rinse, repeat. That's the way it goes. I am going to turn my attention to comments and questions here. I really appreciate you doing it. And I do want to give a little commercial break. Not really. You don't have to buy one thing to be 100% successful at the ketogenic protocol, not pills or potions or shakes or, but I will happily sell you a green journal that you can see at my blog in the sidebar, and it takes you to Amazon. And it tickles me every time I get a notice that someone purchased one. I have a private support group at patreon.com. Some of the patrons are here, I can see already. For that, and there's a free trial. You can try it out for a week. But 20 pre-recorded video snippets every weekday morning, even when I'm in travel status. Topics often suggested by patrons. Going up from there, handful of patron-only live streams here on Crowdcasting. Going up from there, a monthly one-on-one with me. If you hit subscribe, if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you. That really helps. And there is a support button below here. And some of you have already been supportive, and I greatly appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And you also can buy t-shirts that below my, you can see a link to my spread shop. This one is it's keto in American Sign Language. Can't see the whole thing. Keto, so it's subtle. And this, for reference, is a lady size small. You can buy mugs, stickers, and stuff like that. Commercial over. Now let me turn to the comments, and someone has nicely added a comment or question. Let me start answering. Okay, Carmen writes, and look how it pops up on the screen. Isn't that cool? Carmen writes, half and half or heavy cream in your coffee. Heavy cream. Why? Because half and half is half milk. It's very interesting. Milk is high in sugar. Lactose, anything that ends in OSE, is sugar. Heavy cream is separated from the milk. So that's what we use, but we do measure it. This question just came up during one of my snippets for the patrons about measuring the cream. This person loves coffee. Well, my husband and I, even though we're like pros at this now, my husband's been doing this for going on 11 years. We measure by teaspoon, 2 teaspoons per mug of coffee. I generally have 3 mugs or cups a day. So that's 2 teaspoons 3 times, which brings us to the limit of 2 tablespoons of cream a day, which is per page 4. So thank you for that question. That's what we do. Y'all do what works for you. In a pinch, I've used Coffee Mate. You know, I don't freak out about it. I'm pretty stable. I don't worry if I use some Coffee Mate because I'm in at a conference or something and there's no cream, that I'm going to, fall over in a ditch. Oh my God, I had Coffee Mate. Now I'm cooked. All righty, let's look up here. So I'm going to go right up to the beginning. DH writes, good morning. And Kimberly Reed, good morning from a cloudy and rainy East Tennessee. And writes, looking forward to this live. Missed it the past few weeks. Karen Callahan, good morning. Happy to be here. I'm happy to have you. As Justin Wilson, the Cajun cook, used to say, hello, hello. I'm happy for you to see me. Deborah Rundle writes, good morning. And Judith Porterfield, hello. And good morning, Casey. And Judith writes, ugh, Judith, again, OLL, LOL. Okay, not sure what that means. Kimberly Reed, I can hear you. Thank you. Judith Porterfield, yes, exactly. And Karen writes, I require less too at age 69, but oh well, yeah, oh well. I used to say sucks to be me. No, it's awesome to be me most days. I mean, from the outside looking in. Some days from me, the outside looking at myself, it's not, sucks to be me. But that's my own screwed up thinking. No, doesn't suck to be me. It's awesome to be me. 0 medications. Very good health. It's pretty good. And Karen writes, I'm sometimes envious of your nighttime cocktail, Casey. I just can't anymore. I want to eat badly when I drink, and my sleep is not as good. Well, Karen makes a good point. Alcohol, first of all, there's no nutrition in it. Second of all, the liver must process alcohol as if it were a toxin because it's a toxin. So kind of all the fat burning stops. But also the effect of the alcohol on our, the rest of us can make us vulnerable to poor decisions. And in truth, I drink less than I used to because, like you, Karen, I just mm-mm. So, and I don't need it. And and as I eat fewer calories because I require less fuel, it does not make sense for alcohol calories to stay the same because that would mean that the percentage of calories from alcohol is getting larger and larger. Not cool. Don't need that. Kimberly Reed writes, pity parties lead to a negative mindset which can be a very slippery slope. Absolutely. A pity party. Why me? Why not me? Why can't I? Ah, heck with it. Throwing in the towel past the pretzels. You're absolutely right. It can just start, well, uh, uh, it's defeatist. It's a defeatist attitude. And I've been there. I feel defeated to myself on other things, not food wise, all the time. And I work on this. I am working on it. Judith Porterfield. Judy writes, Karen, that's what happens when I drink. Even zero carb drinking can trigger cravings. Yep, keeping it simple works. And hey, Karen, my hubby's in East Tennessee driving a tour bus trip, Gatlinburg, 5 days. Who's in, I think you were, actually, it's Kimberly Reed that's in East Tennessee. So I don't know if you're, conflating those two things. Our brains, our minds, our thoughts, our memories, the things that we find it difficult to release. Visualization. I was speaking with someone yesterday, and this person shared that they were kind of pummeled with thoughts that were not happy thoughts, and it was making them vulnerable to poor decisions. So this person decided I'm going to just treat it like I've just read a headline in the newspaper in big, bold print. And I'm not going to read the article, and I'm going to take the newspaper, wad it up, and throw it away. And I think that's a really good visual. Another one could be, here's my thought. It's a balloon with helium. I think I'm going to cut the string and let it float away. Whatever works. We can't do anything about the past. Sometimes we have to reconcile in the present things from our past, and that's okay as long as we're reconciling them and not perseverating over them. And I'm a good one to perseverate, okay? I'm a good one for that. To my own detriment, and perhaps to the annoyance of my lovely mate. Kimberly Reed, yes, ma'am, and Judith Porterfield. Oh, yes, I see now. Kimberly, rather. If we could, well, as we all know, if all we had to do was, incorporate into our brains what foods we can eat and which we should avoid, Go Keto with Casey would not exist. And we would all be happy and fit and trim. And also to say, this is not for everyone. Some people can be very happy and healthy and fit on a vegetarian or a vegan diet or, food pyramid, healthy whole foods. Probably nobody needs or recommends junk food. We probably don't need Twinkies or corn dogs. These are just, does anyone think M&Ms are health food? And here's the thing, we call it junk food and then we feed it to our children and eat it ourselves. So anyway, avoiding junk food, let's just all agree that highly processed, call it what it is, junk food, or junk, not even food. Some of it's not even food adjacent. But there are ways to get there you don't have to be keto, certainly don't have to be any extreme. And thank you, Kimberly Reed asks or writes, when you were in process of losing the weight, how did you keep yourself motivated? Because I was in the process of losing weight. That was enough for me. Plus, I felt a lot better. And I would say about 6 weeks into this, into doing it starting January 8th, 2014. It was like 5 or 6 weeks. I realized, oh, this is different. This is different than anything I've tried and I've done. And like most of you, I tried most things other than Weight Watchers because I was not about to get on a scale in front of anyone. But I did, but it felt different. So I just kept at it because one thing, I felt physically better. Hadn't lost that much weight in 5 or 6 weeks. And I had lost weight before, but it was a struggle. I was hungry all the time. I was ornery. I felt like if I wasn't pounding it out at the gym and keeping low fat, then I was somehow failing. But this was different, and I was eating delicious food. But I felt that joint pain resolved almost immediately. My mood regulated almost immediately, and I felt in control. Part of what I think is challenging for those of us who have had food issues, sometimes since pre-puberty, is that we start to feel like food controls us, that we're victims of food. Of course, food is an inanimate object. One of my best-selling T-shirts, you can see it, or my mugs at Spread Shop, is food is not the boss of me. That's the way I feel. Food is not the boss of me. Do I look lasciviously at commercials for stuffed crust pizza or bloomin' onions? Yes, but I don't. Okay, I can pass on it. And I used to say out loud with my mouth, saying, I know low carb works for me, but I can't see going the rest of my life without eating tortilla chips. Talk about defeatist attitude. And I really believed it. And I couldn't go without eating tortilla chips until I did. And now I have zero interest in tortilla chips. Zero. I'm not bothered by chocolate. I used to keep M&Ms in nice anchor hawking jars on the countertop, and I would separate them by color. It's like, I was making a mural. That's a lot of M&Ms. And I'd have a handful or two or three every day walking by. No, don't care about the M&Ms. We think we can't do something, and then we do it. And we say, why did I ever think I couldn't do this? But that's what kept me motivated, was feeling better and losing weight. And thank you for the question. Judy writes, okay, and thumbs up. And Judy writes, I'm going back to page 4 again. Weigh/measure. Yeah, we can have what's called carb creep. You say, okay, well, that's fine. And by the way, cauliflower pizza crust. Let me just say this, y'all. Cauliflower is a non-starchy vegetable. Per page 4, it's limited to 1 cup a day max before you cook it. Now, to make cauliflower pizza crust, you need a lot of cauliflower because you steam it and boil it, whatever you do to it, and you mash it up. So, no, don't fall for that stuff. Just don't try to get away with things. Let's just own it. Okay, oh well, I can't eat the way some other people eat. Well, I can. I'm an adult. I certainly may, and I can. I have the ability and the permission if I give it to myself. But I don't want to deal with the consequences. And I can and I may eat as much as I ate 5 years ago. But I'm not going to because I don't want to deal with the consequences. Even though it's all keto, I don't need that much fuel. So, oh well, as Karen from Utah wrote, oh well, can't do that. Sucks to be me. And then follow with, I know that's pretty cool to be. I'm pretty happy to be me right now. As I said, from the outside looking in, some days I struggle because I am a human being and we have stressors. I'm going to start to wind up. I really appreciate you allowing me to be part of your day. If you're watching this on replay, thank you for watching. And maybe you can join us next time here at Crowdcast for the live stream and join into the conversation. And I will see you next Saturday, God willing, the creek don't rise. In the meantime, you can check out Patreon. You can see my other videos on YouTube. Check out my spread shop. Or just step away from glowing screens altogether and go have a good time that has nothing to do with food. Thanks. Be sweet. Just don't eat sweets.